What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA opening lines, early leans show that we shoot every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. To watch the entire show, just hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's move on to Florida at Tennessee. This is a Nolly Knows look. Number 6 ranked Florida, 7-1 in the SEC. At Tennessee, 2-5 in the SEC. Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Tennessee, 46 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, and just 4 miles per hour of wind. Florida opening up at 16.5-point favorites, and that has moved to 17-point favorites. This total at 60.5 or 61. Florida coming off their 5th straight win, 34-10 at home over Kentucky. Kyle Trask was 21-27 for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns went to Kyle Pitts. We were on Florida minus 24, and we got the push. And fortunate after watching the first half of the game, and then shocking that we didn't cover it late in the fourth quarter, especially that drive ending on the goal line. After opening the season with 2 wins, Tennessee's lost 5 straight. Most recently, they lost 30-17 at Auburn. They're scoring just 20.1 points per game while putting up just 339.3 yards per game. Florida, Tennessee, Nolly Knows. This is your look. Take it away.
Yeah, this SEC matchup was pretty much just Florida pretty much been dominating this matchup. And here I expect something similar. One thing that I did like out of Florida, what I've seen recently, is their ability to play a little bit of defense. That's the one thing that they've lacked on. Well, mainly because of their offense scoring so fast. You know, you talk about Trask, he's lighting it up. 34 touchdowns just to 3 interceptions. So the offense is clicking. But here against these lower level SEC teams that really slow down the pace and have an inability to score points, like you've seen out of Tennessee, you look at their last 3 games, scoring 17, 13, 17, and 7 points. Really haven't been able to get it done. And all 4 of those games staying under the total by a good margin. Here with Florida, I look at what they've done against these lesser foes in like Missouri, Vanderbilt, and recently Kentucky. They eventually, after with the lead, they look to run the ball a little bit, and seeing the total here in the 60s, I don't see an adjustment from what I've seen out of last week. This is a Tennessee team that to me is similar to that Kentucky team. And I see something similar to that 34-10 victory that I saw last week, especially on the road in Tennessee here. I like the under here.
The under in Florida, Tennessee. And you're right, their defense has been stepping up, and this over is at 60.5 or 61. Let's move over to John Ryan, the SEC battle here, Florida, Tennessee. What's your look?
This is a tough one to handicap, in my opinion. You have Florida averaging 43.4 points a game, good for 10th in the nation, facing a Tennessee offense that's averaging 20 points a game and 108th in the nation, a Florida defense that ranks 40th, and scoring defense allowing 26, and a Tennessee defense that, as Nolly, I believe he said, is playing better, but still is giving up 31 a game, and that ranks 76th. So when you look at those numbers, you would immediately think that Florida should be favored by about 28 to 30 points because they're so much better on both sides of the ball. The one thing it's making me lay off of this, at least for today's show, is you have a Tennessee team that has lost many games in a row, many to the spread. So now the market is repricing their inability to win, basically. And they might have overshot here. And I realize I just said that, Florida should be favored by 28 to 30 based on those flash stats. But the fact that Tennessee is getting repriced by the market and we're not sure where the bottom is on them, if they are at the bottom of their performance levels, this is probably a steal taking Tennessee with the points. And that is guaranteed to be a contrarian bet. So we'll wait and see.
Very interesting. You'll have to catch John Ryan on our Saturday show at 10 a.m. Eastern to see if he pulls the trigger on the Volunteers. Interesting. Ramon Scott giving us a final score of 37-17. Wow. Great stuff. Okay, we move on, and Nolly Knows on the under in this spot, and our Dennis Garcia liking the other side on the over. Okay, there we have Florida, Tennessee, SEC battle. Dennis Garcia giving us a final score of 45-17 for the Gators. Okay, we move on to a Nolly spot. He actually, we got CMac back. Why don't we just hear if CMac has any addition to this Florida Tennessee spot in the SEC? CMac, my man, we have the under with Nolly Knows, and we have John Ryan with some interest in possibly a contrarian look on Tennessee. Do you have any feel on this spot here in the SEC?
I lean with the under as well. I looked at that already, and I'd still go with Florida. It'd be nice to get under 17, then I'd really maybe look at it. Tennessee just can't score, and I don't know. I can't take them. And I like the double-digit dog at home, and that's why it's a tough spot for me right now. So, I mean, I'd lean with the under would be my best play here with this game.
And did you believe that this Florida Gators team has built a defense?
No way.
So under is predicated on Tennessee not being able to score.
Yeah, I mean, I think Florida's defense is okay. I think they can hold down a Tennessee for sure. Maybe not a better team. I think they're an average defense in the SEC, which is good enough because they can score like no other. And they will here a bit, but I'd lean the under. I think they can hold Tennessee down. If Auburn can hold them, I watched that game. That was horrible. I mean, I've watched a bunch of Tennessee games. I'm not big on them this year. Can't score.
What about a Tennessee team total under?
Yeah, that'd be a look.
Because
I have to wait till it comes out.
The czar saying Tennessee throws pick sixes, can't take the under.
Yeah, that's true too. So
okay. Very interesting.
It's kind of a tough spot. Yeah.
Nolly, you are on the under. When I say Tennessee team total under, does that pique your interest or?
Yeah, that's definitely a look. I still don't expect Tennessee to do much. I mean, albeit I'm not saying Florida is some shutdown defense, but they have played better. I mean, especially against this lesser competition. Yeah. And Tennessee hasn't shown much of anything the last few games. So that's really I'm picking on them and seeing the 61.5 and what I've seen out of Florida the last couple weeks. So I'll definitely be interested in the team total under.